Hey everyone, recently I got a request on a post where I was asking for video ideas, and someone asked for an introduction to the Catholic position on predestination. So today I'm shortly going to go over what Catholics believe on predestination. This isn't going to be in any sense a refutation to Calvinism or double predestination, but rather an informative video essay on what Catholics believe. I'll go through the church doctrine according to the Catechism of the Catholic Church. I'll go through a St. Augustine quote that supports this, and I'll go through a biblical citation that supports this with a commentary from His Holiness St. Ambrose. So, from the Catechism of the Catholic Church, 1037, we read that God predestines no one to go to hell. For this, a willful turning away from God is necessary, a persistence in it until the end, in the Eucharistic liturgy, and in the daily prayers of her faithful, the Church, implores the mercy of God, who does not want any to perish, but all to come to repentance. So I want to first establish that God sends no one to hell, and this is said in the very first sentence of the quote. That's very clear. God sends no one to hell, and that's different from what the Calvinists believe. So we hold to what is called single predestination, where God only predestines those to go to heaven. He never predestines anyone to go to hell. But God does predestine people that He knows are going to pick His grace and will pick Christianity. So the action of foreknowledge, so the action you're choosing and the knowledge that God has, His foreknowledge, they go together, and that's where He gets the action of predestination. But we've already gone over some stuff, and I want to first define what predestination actually is. And it's no more than God's eternal choice to bring someone to heaven. And this is in regards to what you're going to choose, and it's in regards to His foreknowledge. They work together in the predestination. So next we're going to apply a St. Augustine quote from On the Predestination of the Saints, Book 1, that supports this. Quote, "Predestination cannot exist without foreknowledge, although foreknowledge may exist without predestination, because God foreknew by predestination those things which He has about to do." So predestination is because of God's foreknowledge. We're not predestined randomly to go to heaven. It's on our choice, working with the foreknowledge of God, that God may predestine someone to go to heaven. But St. Augustine also notes that foreknowledge does not necessitate any type of predestination. And this is shown even further with Romans 8, verse 29 to 30. This says, quote, "For whom He foreknew, He also predestined to be conformed to the image of His Son, that He might be the firstborn among many brethren. Moreover, whom He predestined, these He also called. Whom He called, these He also justified. And whom He justified, these He also glorified." St. Ambrose expands on this and kind of simplifies it down for us, and he says, quote, "He did not predestine them before He knew them, but He did predestine the reward of those whom merit He foreknew." But especially when it says, "But He did predestine the reward of those whose merits He foreknew." The merit that St. Ambrose is talking about here is the choice that people are making. And he's saying the reward is obviously heaven here. So He's giving them the reward based on His foreknowledge and the choice that they're making. So God does not make a blind predestination, but rather predestine someone off of the knowledge of the choice that the individual is going to make. So as to conclude, this is just a very simple introduction to what Catholics believe on predestination. If anyone needs, I can go through refutations on double predestination, or I can go through an introduction to what Calvinists believe on predestination. It just really depends on what someone would want. So if you have any questions, or if you have any concerns on what I may have got wrong, please let me know. And I especially need video ideas right now. I'm working towards collaborating with one of my friends who is an Eastern Orthodox on a video. We haven't picked a topic or anything yet. We're just both intrigued on this. So maybe sometime in a week or two, I can have that video out. But I'll let you know what the topic is going to be before I make it. But as per usual, God bless everyone, and submit to Thomism.